in the midst of all this Declan Rice stuff that's going on in the press and all around, social media and everything, it's kind of easy to forget other things are actually going on. There has been some good news today surrounding Lucas Paquetá. Now, I'm not with Riley today. I'm with someone most of you probably know who this is because they're very, very good on YouTube. For West Ham fans, Hammers Chat. This is Gonzo. Gonzo, how are you, mate? You okay? You good?
All right, Mark. Thank you, mate. You're all right. You've had a bit of a rush to get back, haven't you?
I have, mate. I've been bussing it. It's been planes, trains, and automobiles to get here. But no,
hot on the bus today, right?
Mate, it is warm, isn't it? It is really warm. As I sit here now, I've got my water next to me. It's warm.
I thought that was a G&T, to be honest with you. I know. I saw you drinking it earlier. He's got the old tumbler. He's got the tumbler out. That don't look like a water glass to me.
Yeah, it doesn't it? I can assure you it's water at the moment, but I don't know. It shouldn't be really, because I should still be celebrating, guys. I don't know if you know, but I think West Ham are European champions or something. I don't know.
We are. Look, I'm still celebrating. Don't worry about that. Yeah, mate. It's brilliant. Look, you wait all that time. You wait all that time for something like that. I don't want to let it pass. I want to sort of cling to it and sort of watch as many montages of it as possible, really, and watch the particularly the final goal. Something because it's icing on the cake, isn't it? I mean, what Ben Rama did was brilliant. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, the final goal is just the icing on a very, very tasty cake. So I keep I like cake, so I'm going to indulge, mate.
I don't blame you. I mean, how are you finding the end of season? Because I don't know about you, that season, although it ended obviously fantastically well, it was a long one, and I don't know about you, I'm quite enjoying a bit of a breather from football, not playing it. It's I'm quite enjoying just the transfer gossip and sitting back and not being stressed out and worrying if Everton are going to win. Do you know what I mean? Or someone's going to pick up a point and thinking, oh no, I can actually just enjoy my life a little bit. How are you finding sort of end of season time?
Exactly that, mate. Exactly that. I like that. So it's not like I don't park West Ham totally, but what it does, it takes away. I think it takes away pressure of a game, and you needing to win and stuff like that. And because of Hammers Chat, certainly my kids, that's the right word, but yeah, my kids become almost like West Ham widows, if you like, during the season. So summer's a good time to spend sports day. Sports day, so there's a bit of controversy in sports actually, some people's legs weren't tied strictly together in the three-legged race, if you know what I mean. It was basically just two people running next to each other and they won.
Oh, dear.
A bit controversial, actually. But yeah, so summer's a great time for that. And like you, I do love a bit of transfer gossip. I am a phone refresher. I really am. And I'm looking at it everywhere. And I know loads of it is nonsense. But sometimes it's like when I went down to my mum's once, and we went on the razzle dazzle the night before, and I was like seeing some old friends. I said, "Oh, can I stay at yours, please, mum?" So I went to mum, stayed in my old room, and she woke me up. She woke me up with a cup of tea in the morning, and she says, "Do you know who Tevez is?" I said, "Yeah, I do." So you might want to get downstairs. She said, "Apparently West Ham have signed him." What? I remember going downstairs, and it was everywhere. So yeah, sometimes, mate. Sometimes the transfer, the rumours are true. So, like with Paquetá, fun enough, last season.
Absolutely. That was one. That was a strange one. I in fact was one of those. Oh god, it's embarrassing saying this. I was one of those that was on Twitter doing what flight's he on? Is he definitely coming? Is it definitely right? I was like, honestly, I do turn into a bit of a kid at the end of the season, and I do one of those things where I've never heard of these players before. Then we get linked with them, and all I think about is that player. I hope we get him. Oh, I hope we get that player. He's going to make such a difference. So I didn't know him yesterday. Do you know what I mean? But
don't let anyone take that. Don't let anyone take that from you. That youthful exuberance and that excitement. It's as we get older, it's hard to rekindle the feeling of excitement at Christmas. And but I think signing a new player for your football team, you get very, very excited. So when you sign a Brazilian playmaker for £50 million. At a club West Ham size, right, for Man City, they can chuck 50 million. They lose 50 million down the back of the sofa. But for West Ham, 50 million on a Brazilian superstar, enjoy it, mate.
And I'll tell you what, mate. I've got to say, before we talk quickly about Paquetá, he seems to one of those players. When he started, I'll be honest with you, I was a bit unsure. He was hard working, but I was thinking, I'm not sure. He's so slow on the ball. I just wasn't convinced, and I was kind of waiting for this £50 million player to arrive. And he really has. You know, the last sort of few months of the season, he just seemed to get better and better. And I'm really think, Gonzo, we've got a player here that it reminds me of Di Canio, that kind of Payet-esque player. And I get this feeling next season he is going to be a monster in the Premier League. If you can start keeping him fit, I think we can have a player that's going to be instrumental as Declan's been for us. Someone we build the team around. I can really see it. What's your thoughts on Paquetá?
Well, the irony is, of course, that he started to play well when Moyes changed his system from football to anti-football, which is, paradoxically, that's just a strange thing to happen, because Moyes said at the start of the season, I'm going to break it. What we used to do, I'm going to break it. I'm going to play a more expansive game. His words. Going to play more. I don't think he meant to be entertaining, but he meant more possession-based football. And the irony is, in that, Paquetá wasn't thriving. And I think it's because Moyes doesn't really know how to do that stuff. It's a little bit like your plasterer saying he's going to have a go at the electrics. You get back to the plastering, oh, crikey, you get a lovely smooth wall. You get him on the electrics, your house burns down. So I think Moyes was trying to do something he's not really equipped to do. He's not Guardiola. Right. And maybe he wasn't able to instruct Paquetá where to be. He had that stuff when he went to the World Cup, which I thought was the turning point, actually. Paquetá went to the World Cup and David Moyes said, hold on a second, I've had a little watch of him now, which made me worried. Who was watching him before? Yeah, because absolutely. Moyes learnt a lot about him in the World Cup. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I thought it was odd, very odd. But a bit embarrassing, really, for a manager to sort of come out and admit it. Oh yeah, he's actually doesn't really play as a number 10. He's more of a deep midfielder. It was a bit odd, but you're right. When he came back and changed that role round for him, that's when everything changed. And I don't know what it was. And I don't think it's necessarily playing alongside Declan. I think he's just better, because I'll tell you what it is as well. I don't think we really support that number 10 role. Our system doesn't really support it. So the number 10 doesn't really get a lot on the ball. So I don't think he really got a lot of the ball in that position. So now he's playing more deeper, and he's then being given possession. It's like he can do more with it, and his confidence has just grown. But yeah, I did notice
the irony is he gets deployed deeper, but at the end of the season, he ends up playing a lot of the game next to Antonio. So actually, he ended up further forward, even though he was playing. So I listen. I don't know what was going on. But, he finished the season really strongly, that's for sure.
He did, yeah. And we've obviously, so a couple of things have happened, Gonzo. He's played in a game for Brazil. They lost, actually, to Senegal 4-2. Okay. A shocking result. And he scored in the 11th minute, but he came off on the 74th minute, again with this collarbone injury, which is, I've never known a footballer to have an injured collarbone and it keep reoccurring. It's a bit of a worry, that one. I don't quite get it. But he went off again of his usual, holding his collarbone, looking in the sky. And I thought, and there was rumours spreading online immediately that he'd broken it and all this. X has put out an update today on Patreon and said that they've done the scans and what have you, and apparently it's just muscle injury, nothing serious, and he can even treat it himself because he's gone on holiday now and he's going to be fit for pre-season. So that's really, really good news. But are you concerned about this collarbone situation? It does seem to be a bit of a reoccurring thing. I just don't. Is it something we're going to be plagued with him? Do you think, or is it something? So I've never heard of a footballer getting a bad collarbone, having a nasty collarbone that's causing you jit.
I don't know. I like the fact the medical department just said treat yourself. Go on, go on. Yeah. Maybe they meant buy yourself something nice when they said treat yourself. Not actually, give yourself an injection. Give the old missus to get a little rub, put a bit of deep heat on it, and it'll all be fine.
That's it, yeah. Fiery Jack, and was it Fiery Jack?
Yeah, right. Actually, it might be Ribman sauce. I don't know a lot about the collarbone. I do know about shoulders though, and I know it's not the same bit.
Is this from personal experience?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
They don't bloody go away. Yeah. Right. My shoulder was what's it called? This acromio or whatever. I don't even bloody remember. It's so long ago. But I had steroid injections and all the the cortisone stuff and that, but it was fine for 18 months. And I remember sitting on the sofa, and I used to have shelves in there everywhere, like built-in shelves, right? And I used to put my cup of tea on my shelf there. I used to watch the telly, so I'd be facing this way, and it'd been fine for 18 months. Like that to get me cup of tea off the shelf, bang, nothing, nothing, and it was there again, and it was another 6 months of rehabilitation. Now I just know that part of the body, once it's weak, it's weak. You know what I mean? And even it's cold now. Even now,
Well,
it's a
these
bit like
cups
that.
of tea can be pretty dangerous, mate. You've got to be a bit careful with that.
I do like it strong. It's a very strong cup of tea. There's a lot of sugar in it, so it's a hefty old beast. You know,
you're taking risks.
So I don't know. Yeah, you always worry about the same injury that happens again. And I mean, when he broke down earlier on in the season, he tried to carry on, didn't he? And then it didn't quite work. And it, obviously came back relatively quickly, but he just fell down. And you do wonder now every time he falls down, he's got to really be careful how he lands. And I don't know, you could probably mitigate about, far be it from me to suggest of it. Maybe do some judo or something, learn how to fall, whatever. That might help him.
Switch to coffee. That's it. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Lucas, mate, stay away from it, mate.
That's what he's been doing. He's been on the Yorkshire tea, the golden stuff.
No, I agree. I think it is. It's obviously clearly a problem. He's obviously damaged it, and you say it's just to be reoccurring, doesn't it? Because I remember the first time he did it, and I can't remember what game it was. And I think it was a home game. It was early in the season, wasn't it? And I remember because I wasn't there. I was watching it on telly, and I remember him going down. And he was on a heap on the floor, and I thought, oh, what's happened? What's happened? And then they showed the replay on Sky or whatever it was, BT, and I remember him going down, and I thought, there's nothing wrong with him. No one hit him. He's just doing a Brazilian bit of flaring about. He's rolling around, crying. Then all of a sudden, he was being taken off. I thought, oh God. And then you're right. Every time he goes down, falls over now, you're like, oh no, oh God, this bloody hell. And that's what's happened against Brazil. He's gone off again. So I'm a little bit concerned about it, but it is good news. At least he hasn't broken it. And it is nice the fact we're going to get pre-season with him. And also, Gonzo, the really good bit of news is now, I did see some. We're going to get a lot of this rubbish online and news and gossip going around, but there was gossip going around that Newcastle were going to bid for Paquetá, and I think there's going to be a club record bid to take him to Newcastle, which obviously worried me a little bit because I thought, oh God, they've got a bit of money now, they might be able to sway him, especially wage wise. But X again has dismissed it and apparently said it's totally not true. West Ham have got no intention at all of selling him. And in fact, from the players' camp, apparently he's very happy at West Ham, very happy in London, very settled and excited. What X's words were, he's excited for the new season. Can't wait to get cracking on. So, mate, it's a good day. I mean, it's, the Rice news is going on, but the stuff's pretty good. He's doing all right. I'm quite liking this.
Well, that's good from his point of view. I did a Paquetá to Newcastle. The story broke. I'll do it. This will do me for a video, a transfer roundup. Very sensitive. Very sensitive. They didn't like it. A lot of comments on the video. Why are you saying this? Well, I'm sort of saying it because it's a sort of transfer roundup, and that's the news. You've just got this story from somewhere else. I've been rumbled, right? That's what I'm doing. They were saying there's obviously, aside from the fact that he's not good enough, to be fair, I switched off from Newcastle saying he's not good enough when they told us ages ago that Sean Longstaff was 3 times the player Declan Rice was. So I tend not to pay too much attention to that. So from their point of view, even if they were, we know they got bags of money. And also the thing is, so their record transfer was Alexander Isak, which was just shy of 70 million. They're going to smash, those are the words, smash their transfer record. They're looking at 75 plus million. After 1 year for someone that's cost you 50, it's going to be tempting. Not that I think we should. And I'm glad we haven't. And I'm glad that I'll tell you a little story, actually. So a friend of mine went to the first home game of the season, and I don't know how he managed it, but he said, I'm going corporate, I'm going in, and he said, and basically got into the players' lounge afterwards.
Oh, right, yeah.
It was all part of the thing. So he went proper posh, So he was in the players' lounge afterwards. So he said afterwards, he said Paquetá was all on his own. No one was with him. He said it was really weird watching him in there, and my friend was saying, come on, someone go over and talk to him and all of that sort of stuff. I'll tell you what else funny enough, he said, which goes against the grain of what people are saying. He said, and I met Antonio myself, by the way, and he's very, very friendly. But he said Antonio in there was all very talkative, came over, had a chat, was sort of getting on with everybody, which sort of goes against what you hear about him, that he doesn't get on with everybody. So you can't believe everything that you hear on that. But he said Paquetá looked a bit Billy No Mates. Really? So he was worried, and I thought, that is a bit of a worry. So for him to be really happy and excited and looking forward to next season, I think that's great. And he must feel like in that position, whatever it was, where he starts in the middle and he's allowed to get close to the striker, he must feel like the main man now, particularly with Declan leaving. And there was a point where he started to develop a partnership, I felt, with Scamacca, and understanding. It wasn't much. There were 3 games, and there was a couple of European ones, and then there was one in the Premier League. For 3 games, they linked up really well. You thought, oh, this is going to be. He did. I remember him do a little lofted ball over the top, and it was it seemed to be on the wavelength. Now, it's different conversation for another day as why Scamacca hasn't worked out. But if he could just find that understanding with an attacking player, not with his central midfielder partner per se, but whoever is going to be our attacker next season, that would be really, really good for us. And I think he could be absolutely magnificent. I think he could be, because he ain't bothered by the Premier League's. He's a big boy.
He is, yeah.
And for the first time, I can't remember. The first time the first time I saw him was at home, but I can't see anyone at home. They all look that big when we're at home. But it was an away game, and I can't remember. But anyway, I thought, oh wow, he's big. He's in excess of 6 foot. So he's not bothered. He's not going to get bullied in the Premier League. So if you can leave that to one side, are you going to be able to express yourself? Clearly he can. So we get him the right partner. I'm not surprised he's excited about it. I'm excited about it. I'm excited who we're gonna bring in. I'm not with the old doom and gloom stuff. We have intent.
I'm like you. I'm a bit like that. I get a bit excited. Although the striker one always worries me for West Ham, because I don't know what it is. It's just a curse in the club. We can't get a striker right. We don't ever see. I mean, even the striker we got that we like, our best striker, is not a striker. Do you know what I mean? He's a winger, really, but we sort of converted him. That's the only thing that worries me a little bit. This director of football, technical director, whatever he's called. I think that could be quite key, quite interesting. But I don't know about you, Gonzo, but I'm like you just said, I'm a little bit more optimistic this summer. I'm looking at it with a bit. Usually, I'm a little bit doom and gloom. I can get a bit caught up in the hysteria, and why haven't we signed anyone? What's going on? But I'm actually feeling quite optimistic. I think West Ham we're behaving quite well, a bit better than usual. I quite like the fact we've gone out. We're getting a technical director in, which I think I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't really expecting West Ham to be doing this. And when that sort of broke that was going to happen, I was quite impressed. I thought I was thinking Sullivan was going to go, right, that's it. I'm back involved. Right. Let's bring up old, I can't think, his agents, mate.
Salthouse, Mr. Salthouse.
That's it. Give him a ring. Who you got? But I quite like we're going away from that. So that's good. And that gives me a bit of encouragement. And yeah, I'm do you know what? Like you say, there's some fans for some reason. I don't know why doom and gloom. I think some people just like to be like it. And what we've said it before. But I'm like you, mate. I'm really optimistic. And this Paquetá now, I'm looking at him. Now we're losing Declan. I think he's going to be our main man. I really do. I think they're going to build the team around him. And like you said, I think he's going to thrive with that. I really do.
Yeah, I am really excited about it. I am, because I think there's intent for us to, I say get better. I don't even mean that, but maybe to my expectations are very low, to not stagnate or get worse. So I think there is an intent there to keep moving forward, and you have to move forward to stand still, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
And I think that with the technical director, I think that's really good. I think if that is a condition of Moyes staying, and I don't know, and no one will know truly unless you're in that room. But if Sullivan did turn around and say, I'd like you to see out the final year, but I am going to bring someone in, can you deal with that? Then for Moyes to say yes, I think is good. Shows good humility. I do think this is Mark Noble's doing, though. I mean, the intent to do it. I think possibly Mark Noble coming as sporting director. Mark Noble's possibly said, because we hear rumours that he almost walked away in January. I do wonder if Mark Noble turned around and said, look, if you're going to run this club, you're going to run it properly. If you're going to run it properly, we need a football in. We need a director of football. And you're going to need to sort out recruitment. And we're going to have to stop doing what we're doing. So I do wonder if Sullivan was persuaded of that. And you know what? Sullivan kept on. He would have had nothing at West Ham, and even if he's, it's better whatever having 30% of something, right? It's better than having nothing. And I think he can still be the chairman. Can he be the dictator of football and the all, the all powerful Oz and all the rest of it? No, he can't. But he can still be a chairman. But he has to relinquish some power. He has to delegate, and it's not just delegate. It's a case of I have trust in you, Mark. Noble, you go and do your stuff. There's a director of football. I'm hands off. This is your budget for the season, and there is no. I like the idea of him phoning, sort of saying what you got. It's quite funny because I've got a friend that does that, who's like really into. collects old arcade machines, and he often phones, "Hey, what you got? What you got? Go on, man, what you got for me?" And I'm quite.
I've got Danny Ings. All right, yeah, Elliot will do.
I think this is what you get. What you got? What you got for me? Oh, I've got a cheeky little South American winger. On loan to Sao Paulo from Flamengo. He's going to be the business. He's going to be the business. How old is he? 27. But I'll tell you what, he's not reached his potential yet. I'll bring him. How long? How much? 3.5 million. Oh, come on. It's a deal. Get on, Moisey. Got your new player. Wellington Paulista's brother.
It's a relief to be getting away from that. That's the one thing I'm relieved about. That's my most encouraging sign for this summer that we're doing that. And mate, I'm buzzing for the new season. But I'm like you say as well, like with me, it's nice to have a bit of a break. And it's brilliant, mate. And obviously Paquetá, what a player. And and the news of him is really positive. Gonzo, it's absolute pleasure, mate, you coming on here having a chat. And for people that don't know, Gonzo's on Hammer's Chat. People will probably know this who watch this channel, but if you haven't, go over there and subscribe. Brilliant channel. I watch it all the time. Brilliant. Really, really entertaining. And with Gonzo and Gio. Brilliant. So, mate.
And we'll have you over there, mate. We'll have a little chat. I said you'd have to come over and join me. I said, let's make a sign-in. Sign-in. You come over and join me, and we'll do a little video, and we'll celebrate our new signing. Hopefully, it's not that 27-year-old from Flamengo that the sort of Brazilian journeyman that's never going to get a first team game. Ends up playing with the under-18s. You know that one.
Yeah, that's it. It's fingers crossed, mate. Look forward to it.
Thanks for having me on, mate. Appreciate it.
Yes, mate. Thank you very much.